In the flickering shadows of lamplit nights, tales have been whispered of unseen hands tending the hearth, tidying the home, or causing mischief when offended. Across cultures, house spirits, ancient beings tied to domestic spaces, have embodied the mysterious link between human lives and the unseen world. These spirits are as diverse as the lands they hail from, each with their own unique traits, quirks, and customs. Let's step into the homes of Slavic, British, and German traditions to meet the Domovoi, Brownie, and Kobold, and uncover their enigmatic worlds. First house spirit, the Domovoi, is a central figure in Slavic folklore, believed to be the spirit of the household. According to the definitive work on them, The Bathhouse at Midnight, by W.F. Ryan, the Domovoi is a powerful and benevolent house spirit, most common in Eastern Europe. According to our sources, the Domovoi is typically depicted as a small elderly man with a long beard, often covered in animal fur, and having a hairy body. They are considered the guardians of the home and its inhabitants, ensuring their well-being and prosperity. Not only would they protect from fires, property damage, or theft by raising the alarm or directly intervening, but they were thought to somehow increase productivity and income to any household they were given the power to act within. As this indicates, Domovoi are generally benevolent spirits if treated with respect, helping with household chores, caring for livestock, and protecting the house from evil spirits and intruders. However, if angered or neglected, they can become mischievous, causing disturbances and bad luck. Signs of a disgruntled Domovoi might include strange noises, misplaced items, a phenomenon similar to poltergeists or minor accidents, which were interpreted as signs of the spirit's displeasure. This was seen, though, as a way of communicating something was wrong with the household or the family, however, rather than a threat or something meant to harm the family. It could, for instance, warn of water damage somewhere unseen, or it might be a complaint that the house is filthy. Often it was said, too, that the Domovoi would object to immoral or unethical behavior in the household and would react angrily to such bad behavior with supernatural noise, flying objects, and etc. meant to correct this behavior. To keep a Domovoi content, families would offer food, usually bread, milk, honey, or porridge, left out in the evening. Some accounts indicate an annual ceremony of appreciation, a party to celebrate the Domovoi, who also performed. When moving to a new house, families might invite the Domovoi to come along to ensure their continued protection. Domovoi were believed to communicate through sounds or movements, like knocking or whispering, and could give warnings through dreams or disturbances to alert the family of impending danger. A final intriguing belief about the Domovoi was that they were not faceless spirits, but rather quite unique and distinct individuals, no different than us individual human beings might be. They had personality traits, tendencies, and friendships or rivalries with other spirits nearby or neighboring. It was thought, for example, that many major spirits like the East European Leshy, for example, otherwise known as the forest spirit, or some evil demonic spirit in a house nearby, would influence and affect the Domovoi, causing it maybe to be happier and more helpful if near a friendly Leshy, or nervous, excitable, and unable to help as effectively as it could if surrounded by malevolent or evil spirits nearby. Next up, the Brownie, a staple of British folklore, is a small industrious spirit known for its willingness to help in secret. Brownies are depicted as diminutive, small, humanoid creatures, often dressed in rather ragged clothing, but despite these humble looks, they are kind and generous to those they favor. At night, brownies tidy homes, churn butter, or perform other domestic tasks. They are especially valued for their ability to maintain a household's smooth running. Unlike the Domovoi, brownies do not particularly demand any thanks for their help. Offerings of milk, cheese, eggs, whatever, aren't strictly necessary, although they are appreciated. However, try not to go too far with these. These house spirits are known for having simple tastes and no need at all for the luxuries of life. You can offer them simple fare if you wish, but offering them gifts like clothes or overly lavish food may insult them, offending their Spartan and simple sensibilities, and just possibly causing them to leave your home in a huff forever. And that's just if you're lucky, as if sufficiently offended, brownies have been known to transform into something called a bogart, a mischievous and malevolent spirit. In this state, they create havoc in the household, breaking items, spoiling food, and tormenting its inhabitants, serving as a warning of the consequences, perhaps, of failing to respect otherworldly helpers. Unlike the Domovoi, who only hurls things around your home, poltergeist style, as a lesson to you, or pretty much just for your own good to correct you, once you've made your brownie a bogart, there are no good intentions behind the bogart's seething wrath. So, let's move on from that unpleasant bogart to our last type of house spirit, the kobold. This creature has been hijacked somewhat by the Dungeons & Dragons fantasy type genre to be some kind of lizard-like humanoid. In truth, however, the kobold goes back deep into German folklore. Is it a lizard, though? Not actually. They were thought to be tiny human-like figures. However, they were also known as shapeshifters, adopting animal or even object forms. And so, lizard-like creatures really are just as likely as anything else with the kobold. So, we will depict them in this form. Kobolds are one of the most unique house spirits you could find in folklore, mainly because there are so many different kinds. Some are household spirits, and much like the other two types, kobolds are known to assist with chores and protect the family from all forms of harm. However, like the Domovoi, they don't just do this for free. They do expect a little respect, and more importantly, offerings in return for their services. Insulting or neglecting a kobold can result in pranks, such as hiding objects or causing food to spoil. Unlike the other house spirits, however, some kobolds live in, that's right, gold mines, tin mines, whatever mines. This variety of kobold is thought to appear as small, shadowy figures or glowing lights. These spirits are both helpers and omens. Friendly mine kobolds guide miners to rich veins of ore, while hostile ones may mislead them or even cause cave-ins. The term cobalt, a metal, derives in fact from this kind of kobold. Miners named it after these spirits, in fact, believing that ores containing this undesirable ingredient of cobalt were the result, in fact, of the kobold's mischief. And, as if the kobold was not cool enough already, there is a third kind, the seafaring kobolds. They are often depicted as hairy humanoid sailors or small cap-wearing figures. Maritime kobolds protect ships and their crew, warning of storms or impending danger. In return, they expect a clean and orderly ship. Everything must be ship-shape. A sighting of one of these types of kobolds could be a double-edged sword, however. While it does often signal protection, it may also foretell of doom for the ship or its captain. I guess it depends on if you run a tight ship or if you spend the whole time drinking Navy rum. So there you have it, 3 of the most interesting house spirits from the legitimate folklore of Europe. Perhaps it's true that the notion of house spirits merely reflect humanity's need to personify the unknown forces of daily life, maybe to provide an answer to cover unexplainable events. But, just in case, maybe you do have that extra cup of oatmeal to spare, don't you? You know, just as a little offering you might leave out there on the table this night, just in case there's a Domovoi or a Brownie or a Kobold in residence. In which case, you just might save yourself a little poltergeist-style mischief or bumps in the night, and so can sleep all the more peacefully, knowing that a friendly helper is there by the hearth, keeping home and hearth safe from harm. Well, that just about wraps up tonight's tale from Lorehound. Join us as we sniff out more of history's most interesting stories.
As the hound dog entered the dimly lit library, he sensed an aura of mystery surrounding the ancient scrolls. The dusty shelves towered above him as he sniffed his way through the labyrinth of books. Suddenly, he picked up a scent and followed it to a secluded corner. With bated breath, he approached the shelf and pawed at the book, revealing the hidden scroll. As he rolled it out, he knew he had discovered a treasure worth protecting at all costs.